Appreciate everybody tuning in this morning. I just want to kind of update you where I'm at. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow, so I appreciate your prayers. It's just I got to think of an old story where there's this dog and he was missing his left ear, he's missing his left front leg, he was missing his tail, he's missing an eyeball, and the guy says, "Well, what's your dog's name?" He says, "Lucky." And sometimes I feel like my whole left side is pretty much broken or hurt. So, and I was going to AI heifers this year, and I was really looking forward to AI and all these heifers. But man, I think that'd be like with a broken elbow. It'd be like shooting pool with a rope, I guess. So I want to talk to you this morning about Jonah, and it's just you gotta read it. You gotta just sit down and say, you know what, I'm just gonna read it. It's not that long, and I'm just gonna go through it and read it because there's so many. Man, there's 4 points I want to bring out, but there's so many more in there. It's just so powerful. And anyway, Jonah is told by God he wants him to go to Nineveh, and that Nineveh, the wickedness, the sins have reached up into heaven, and sin is actually means it's an archer's term where it means missing the mark, and the whole town of Nineveh has missed the mark, and so he calls Jonah to go up. And he says, "I want you to go preach to them." And that's about 500 miles northeast of Galilee, and man, Jonah does something really unexpected. He takes off and jumps on a ship to Tarshish over in Spain, in the other direction. He says, I'm not doing that. I'm out of here. And he takes off. And the Bible says he tried to flee God's presence. And when I really was thinking about this, oftentimes all of us have a destiny. All of us have a plan. God has a plan for your life, and we all know that. And I've talked about that a lot. But sometimes we run from it, and sometimes we don't want to admit to it, and we're looking for an escape. And the question is, where do you go? Where do you go to find an escape? And to Jonah, he thought, well, ship. And so he's on this ship, and all of a sudden, the Lord sends a storm, and it just catches them guys completely unawares, and all the seamen, they're, competent, veterans of the sea, and yet this storm has got them rattled, and they keep looking around, and Jonah's down in the bottom sleeping, and this makes me smile, even though he's walking in disobedience, but yet, he knows that God is in control. I mean, he knows that whatever happens, his life is in the hands of God. So, he ain't gonna worry about it. He just goes to sleep. And but while all this is happening, while God's dealing with Jonah, he's also dealing with all those around him. And I think that's so amazing about God. They're freaking out and they're praying to all their gods. They're pagan people and they're just praying to all their gods and throwing everything overboard. And he told Jonah to get up and pray to his God. And they finally they cast lots to find out whose fault it is, and it falls on Jonah. And Jonah tells them, man, he says, I fear the one true God. I fear the one true God. And here he's running. I fear the one true God. And he says, throw me overboard. Well, them guys didn't want to do that. They're decent people. And they were rowing as hard as they could then, trying to get away from the storm and rowing to get to land, but they couldn't get anywhere. And finally, they gave up, and they threw Jonah into the sea. And immediately, the storm stops. Then in verse 16, it says, Then the men feared the Lord exceedingly and offered a sacrifice unto the Lord and made vows. Their lives were changed. While God's dealing with Jonah, man, things are happening all around. And all these sailors and all these men have come to know the true living God. So, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you run. That's my main point, is that, man, no matter where you run, you can't get away from God. And one time I was preaching out of Job, where Job was telling how he felt like he was all fenced in and there was nowhere to go. And man, he just felt trapped, he where do you go to get away from God? And a little boy, he hadn't spoken very many words, and he was sitting up front. And I was asking that question to the congregation. I said, where do you go? Where do you go? And he said, up. And out of the mouths of babes, right? Up. And Psalms 139 says, where can I go from your spirit, or where can I flee from your presence? And it goes on to talk about there's really no place to hide. There's no place to go. You can't get away from God. And then when he's dealing with you, and he'll keep doing, man, it doesn't matter. Man, no matter where you are, ministry will always find its way out of you if you allow it. And even in the darkest and the deepest valleys that you're in, ministry, doesn't matter if you get a new job. It doesn't matter if you move halfway across the state. It doesn't matter if you move halfway across the country. Ministry will always find a way out of you. And you know what? And wherever that ministry is, God will give you the provision that you need for the assignment that he's given you. So no matter how fast your little arms can roll, you can't outrun God. And so I think that's really important to remember that, you know. And number 4 is to be honest. Man, it would have been really easy for Jonah to say, I don't think it's my fault. It's got to be one of your guys' fault. And sometimes that speaking honest is really, really hard, because sometimes it's more convenient to lie, or maybe not to tell the whole truth, or maybe, but Jonah didn't know what they were going to do. But yet, he knew to be honest. He says, you know, guys, it's me. You know, I'm running from God. So, I want to encourage you with that, and I just pray that God just bless you today and keep you, and God bless you.